Hi there, I'm Mick from Liberator, and in this video I'd like to look at the features of the NovaChat communication aid that you might find useful for individuals or clients that you work with. The most popular feature that we get asked for is to have speech display bar icons on. Speech display bar is this bar at the top, and as standard, as you press a button that would only put in the word or phrase. With SDB icons on, you also get the symbol across the top bar too. To be able to toggle that on and off, you go into Menu, Application Settings, Style, and then you've got SDB icons here where you can toggle that on or off. Another great feature found in the same menu is Show Button Images. If I toggle that particular option off and go back to my vocabulary, you'll notice that every single word that had a symbol associated with it no longer does. And the idea behind that is that for someone that has developed those literacy skills or no longer requires that symbol support, you can toggle that off and change it from a symbol-based vocabulary into a word-based vocabulary. Okay, I'm just going to toggle that back on. So I go into my menu, Applications, Settings, into Style, and Show Button Images on. The NovaChat has a really useful word finding tool. To be able to access that, you can turn that on in the menu. So you can go to Menu and access Word Finder here. To be able to have that Word Finder feature visible in that menu structure, you go to Application Settings, Word Finder, and then Show Menu Item needs to be ticked. When you then access that feature, so Menu, Word Finder, you can type a word to search for or a word to find. So in this example, I'm going to use pizza, and that will tell you the pattern that you need to press to produce that word. So here we've got topics, foods, lunch and dinner, pizza. You've also got the ability to use a virtual model, the Guide Me feature. By pressing Guide Me, that will blank out every other option except the sequence that you need to press. So here I can go to topics, foods, lunch and dinner, and then choose pizza. You can also use Word Finder through a spelling keyboard. So by that I can go into topics, find my spelling keyboard, here I've got a Word Finder feature available on mine, so I can type in the word hi, press Word Finder, and that will tell me the pattern in the top right hand corner, so social, hi. If I go home, I can follow that pattern, social, hi. Next feature that I really like is Tap to Expand. So Tap to Expand almost acts as a reinforcer, again for those individuals that are developing literacy skills. On my particular device, I've got that switched on, so as I press this text bar at the top, I drink fizzy orange. I then get a full screen of the text that's appeared, so Tap to Expand, that one's called. To be able to toggle that on and off, you go into Menu, Application Settings, into Input, and then down at the bottom here, you've got Speech Display Bar, Tap to Expand, and you can toggle that on and off there. The NovaChat also has the ability to use switches. You can either plug in one or two switches into the amplifier, but a feature that I really like is using the screen as a switch. And that's really great for individuals that would like to touch their device, however, they perhaps don't have the dexterity to be able to press on the icons they wish. So to be able to turn that on, you go into the menu, Application Settings, into Input. We can go to Scanning, second option down, Enable Scanning, Switch Access I'm going to change to Switch Configuration 1 switch, Auto Scan ticked, and then switch number 1, start scan activate. I'm going to select here, and instead of having a switch plugged in, I can tap the screen. Now if we go back, each time I tap the screen, that's going to start the scan pattern. And I can communicate that way. The next feature that I'd like to look at is the side chat feature. I've got mine turned on, but for you guys to turn it on, if you go into the menu, application settings, speech output, down at the bottom here you've got side chat. I've got mine ticked, but you may have it off as default. What side chat allows you to do is to have 2 simultaneous conversations going on. So I could be having a conversation with someone about which food I would like to eat. And before I make my choice, someone else might come into the room and say hello to me. I can quickly toggle to a second screen, pressing this number 1 in the top right hand corner. That goes to number 2. I can say hi. And when I toggle back to area 1 or speech display bar 1, that will remember exactly where I was. So I've got I want to eat already created. I can make my choice. We've already done pizza, so let's do dinner for this one. And again, if I go back to side chat window number 2, it will remember exactly where I was previously. By clearing and going home, that resets them. As standard on the NovaChat, you also have access to Android, and that's great for certain individuals, but for some individuals that can be really distracting. So you might often find that they're pressing their Android button, which is this one at the side. You'll notice that goes to Android. I can go into my apps. I may have a look in here and I can see things like YouTube that might be distracting. The NovaChat has a really nice feature called kiosk mode that blocks that out. So if I get back into my software, into menu, application settings, I can go down into system. Here I've got kiosk mode. I can turn kiosk mode on, and that doesn't require a password. As I go back to my vocabulary, now if I try and press my Android button at the side, it's locked into my communication software. You also have the ability to lock the menu bar as well. So to do that, you go into menu, application settings, menu lock. I can tick menu lock and then choose a password to be able to lock that menu down. Again, great for those individuals that like to go in there and change things around when they're not supposed to. The next feature that I'd like to look at is skin tones on the NovaChat. I need to change vocabulary for this one. At the moment I'm in a PCS vocabulary. However, I can toggle to a symbol sticks vocabulary such as word power 60SS. Here we go. I'm going to create a copy. So press and hold, duplicate, call it copy number 3 because I've already got some available. And if I go into number 3 here, press open. As standard, you have mixed skin tones on there. To be able to define which skin tone you would like, you can go into the menu, into edit mode, then press menu again, go into vocabulary settings, symbol stick settings, and here you can choose a skin tone. So I'm going to untick random and define a skin tone on there. When I go back to my vocabulary, you'll notice all of the symbol stick symbols have the same skin tone throughout. If I want to change that, it's menu, vocabulary settings, I'm still in edit mode, symbol stick settings, skin tone, and I can choose an alternative. Once you're happy with that, you can come out of edit mode and you'll notice that the skin tones have all changed. You may have already noticed that top right hand corner I have another symbol available. This symbol indicates data logging. To be able to turn data logging on, you go to Menu, Application Settings, come down to the bottom and you've got data logging. Here you can tick data logging on, and then below that you've got Realize Language. Realize Language is a web-based platform that allows you to record data and usage based on a communication aid or an individual. That data is set up for profiles, and those profiles can be accessed remotely from a third-party computer, so you don't need to take the device away from the individual. Realize Language is great because it can run reports for what time of day the device is being used, what parts of speech and what words are being used, and it can really help to identify gaps in someone's vocabulary so that you can spend time teaching alternative words to someone. It might be that they're only using nouns or verbs, and actually you want to start introducing describing words or question words, and that's a great tool to be able to do that. So I'd recommend you look at realizelanguage.co.uk to be able to get some further information on that.
Contact us today to learn more.